Okay, this is going to offend most everybody, and because the truth hurts, and so I'm gonna throw some truth down on this shit. And first off, this has nothing, you know, nothing of what I am doing is in opposition to any of the real people, like Kid Rock. I got mad respect for Kid Rock. Always have since like 1998. The first time I seen, right after 1999, when he Woodstock '99, when that was being played on MTV, and I saw him coming out in his big fucking pimp fur and shit. I was like, that fucking right. I was hooked. So I'm a big fan of Kid Rock. Right. I have no actual problem with Trump. I do not. I got some serious problems with the American Sheeple. And that's where this is all going to go. So first, I wanted to do a reaction to the actual real, the first video, and then after that, I wanted to go and do my version, which I believe is a lot closer to reality, and it's called "We the Sheeple." We all been branded, and so here's a fact also is that I'm going to leave a description down at the bottom of where you can contact Kid Rock. We have tried contacting him on a couple occasions, and we have we have a way to get out of this shit. If all of Kid Rock's people, uh, and this doesn't go with just Kid Rock, this goes with all of the celebrity types out there. Hank Williams Jr., right? Hank Williams the third, fucking the whole list, Ted Nugent, all you people, if you guys are literally serious about becoming Americans again, right? Undependent, we have a solution that we are not going to talk about right now at this point. And all we need from any one of these celebrities, like a Kid Rock, is nothing more than a voice, right? So he's a leader in the sense of he's got, millions of fans. If he put out, if he took 15 minutes to throw out the plan, right? That would be, it would go viral, and we are fucking nobody, fucking worthless piece of shit. Nobody's, right? So we go, and when we try, we are cancelable, and we get canceled all over the place, and because the powers that be know that we have, we know they know that our plan would go and put Americans back on the map. Okay, so if you give a shit about the country, like everybody claims that they do, as they seem to be more interested in getting some FaceTime and parading around and shit, which that's fine. Everybody do whatever you want. But we aren't looking for any of that kind of shit. We are coming as fucking nothing but heart and soul. And as a matter of fact, we're so disgusted that we are ready to leave the sheeple to their own demise. However, again, that's only because we actually really give a shit. And so, and we know, we don't have a doubt that most of all you actually do too. Well, we do need to band together, and we need to straighten the fuck up. And we have a solid plan that once it would only take like a Kid Rock just to mention it, and no money out of Kid Rock's pocket unless he wanted to put in, then all it needs to be is mentioned, and the American people can do the rest. So here we go. one aspect that we are at right now is that is not an American flag, right? That is a United States corporate flag that has all of the corporations that had band together, right? Every state is a corporation, right? And so there is no American flag. And one of the first things we would do as the American people would design an American flag. And here's another thing, real quick, is we no longer pledge allegiance to any flag. We would pledge allegiance to the American people, but we don't give a shit about some piece of cloth, right? Now we understand because we're just pulling ourselves out of our heads, out of our own asses at this point in time. And so it is what it is, but that flag is a corporate flag. It's from the United States. That's a United States corporate flag. The facts are Washington, D.C. is thinking about incorporating itself into a state. So they would have to add one more star to that fucking thing. The facts are that back in 1960s is when they put Hawaii, incorporated Hawaii. So they added a star. So in other words, that flag has went through many changes in the last couple hundred years. Okay? So, and it could change again tomorrow if they wanted to. However, an American flag will always stay the same.
We the people, and all we do, reserve the right to scream, fuck you!
You got no rights.
Wear your mask, take your pills, now a whole generation's mentally ill! Man, fuck Fauci. But COVID's near, it's coming to town. We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does, the media embraces. Big Dog does it and they call him racist. We the people.
This is going to piss off a lot of the women, but you know, I don't even know how to do this actually. I wanted to stop and say a bunch of things to that shit, like Fauci. Fuck Fauci. Here's a fact. Fauci is working for there's many nations, many societies inside of America. America is a landmass, right? And the United States are corporations, are figments of imagination with borders that used to be territories, and they fucking incorporated specific territories, right? And yeah, so Fauci works for a social fucking legal society, and so Fauci is a fucking hero inside of his society. He did exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Right? The American people do not have their own society. Right? There are no leaders for the American people. However, there's a bunch of politicians, right? And the American people are blinded by this bullshit. They don't even realize what they're doing, right? So there should be a one king for the American people, the voice, almost like a Martin Luther King. However, whoever takes that position is going to be fucking taken out, just like he was. Okay? But let's go. And one other thing is always these women, right? So if we go back, the American men have really turned into some fucking soft mushy, and we understand it's because we all want to get laid, right? And so the women are like, you need to do this and you need to do that, and I don't fuck anybody or suck anybody off unless they're like this and that. So all these American, and you know, the facts are that that's women are not fucking leaders, people. I don't give a shit what you fucking say. The minute I see, you know, like a MMA fighter with there's some badass women there in the MMA fighting scene, and when I see a bunch of women that are ready to get out and get their heads split and fucking take a bunch of punches to the face and shit, then maybe they could become the leaders of a bunch of men who are a bunch of soft vagina types. Right? It is what it is.
We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does, the media embraces. Big Dime does it and they call him racist. We the people.
And then you got this lions, not sheep. Eh. Well, you know, here's a fact. You know, here's a fact, woman. You know, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but here's a fact. I barely even looked at your, because I've had to watch this a few times, but I don't give a shit what you had on your head. Actually, all I wanted to see are your tits. Yeah? That's a fact. You know, you're a lion, are you? Okay, you're a lioness. All right. Yeah, are you really? I'm thinking that red carpets have been rolled out for your ass most of all your life. You know, like Chris Rock said, if you ever watch Bigger and Blacker, he's like, women, what the fuck, always bitching. How come the men can't say no to sex? Right? I say no all the time. I get offered sex all the time. Yeah, because ever since you were 13, every man you ever met has been trying to fuck you. Right? When a guy gets offered sex, he's like, God damn, this is my lucky day. Right? And so, you know, a man can run, but he can't run that far. He can't run that fast, right? He's like, oh, pull the hamstring, right? They got me. Right? So let's keep this fucking shit into proper perspective. There is a law of nature here. And everybody in this country, seems to want to go against these laws, and that is one of the key elements of why the place is a fucking mess. And every one of these people that are going against the fucking are always looking at somebody else to save them, like Big Don, right? You know, and it's a little bit, it's beyond bullshit at this point, right? And then, you know, right here, they got, you know, okay, you're really too hot to be, and I'm not trying, but this guy, yeah, I want to see a bunch of fucking, you know, you construction worker, you know, I don't know, you're out fucking skiing and shit, we don't even, but anyways, and there's nothing against people, it's just this concept, the idea. So no, that's right here. This is what's going to save, right? These kind of dudes, when all the fucking hell breaks loose, if it got to that point, right? These are going to be the people that everybody, all these fucking hot, sweet, gorgeous women. Yeah, these are going to be the guys that are fucking going to be taking care of you.
Fuck Facebook! Fuck Twitter too! And the mainstream media! Fuck you too! Yeah, you! Inflation's up like the minimum wage, so it's all
Look at her fucking hair. This is a Hispanic girl at the most. Maybe she's got, but come on. There's some serious, there's some black girls out there.
But we gotta keep fighting for the right to be free, and every human being doesn't have to.
And that is true. We got to keep fighting for the right, but we're not even free at this point. You do not have any rights. I don't know if you people know that, but that is a fact, that there is no constitution, right? And I could, if you don't believe me, I can prove it, right? And so here's a fact, right? That this Constitution that everybody talks about, did you sign any of it, right? This is shit. Great grandfathers, right? People 4 generations ago came together, signed some shit. It was in effect for them, their posterity. That means their direct offspring. It does not mean, right? So if you have 30 million, whatever the fucking number is, I don't even know how they have these keep track, but I see 20 million, what they call quote unquote illegals from south of the border, are on American soil at this point, right? Well, they're not part of the posterity, okay? And if you've ever watched Gangs of New York, that is a allegorical story of exactly what's happening, right? So the natives had to fight all of these to try to keep their space the way that they wanted it, and meanwhile they flooded in with the Roman Catholic Church flooded the place in with a bunch of foreign people. And then it changes the landscape. It fucks everything up. So the shit has been fucked up, and what needs to be done, and this is part of calling on Kid Rock and all the celebrities, Ted Nugent, what needs to be done, people, is we need to stop thinking and looking back in the past when right fucking now is the time. And we need to go and have a whole new fucking contract constructed, all of the people united under a contract that's given to the United States corporation, and they're given demands and orders to fucking follow the will of the people, right? Across the board, not in one fucking, like Colorado. Colorado, you can go in and legally buy some pot safely and legally, buy some pot and consume it, and even keep it in your fucking pocket and on your possession and not get fucked with. You cross over into Kansas, and the exact same thing that you were doing there, now you might fucking get 2 years in fucking jail for. That's fucking bullshit. So how are we talking, we the people, when half the fucking country is living under different restrictions and shit? That's bullshit, right? And then here's another thing, real quick, right? I knew this was going to be, but there's a lot that has to be said here. So here's another thing. African Americans, if you want to call them black, let's say everyone that's in Colorado has way more freedom than, or in freedom, let's use privileges. They have more privileges to be left alone and do within their will what they want than the people over than all of the white people in Kansas. All the people, period. But if everybody wants to start fucking pointing black and white and shit and pulling all these race cards and all that other fucking nonsense, well then let's use a little fucking, put it into proper perspective, please.
We all bleed red, brother, listen to me. It's time for love and unity.
It's way past time. Never fucking got to this time. fact, is that all these corporations, they reserve the right to shit all over your so-called rights, right? So there are no rights. You get privileges, right? And so if you want to partake, then you're going to have to fucking remove some of your so-called rights for some privileges, which is some bullshit. And that's where the fucking government should be stepping in, right? So Facebook, Facebook, you don't have any fucking rights to tell anybody what they're fucking going to do and what they're not going to do. Facebook can easily section shit up. If you're in the crybaby section, do you not like swearing? Does swearing offend you? Ask some fucking questions. Have a questionnaire, right? Because I want to be in the adult section, and I don't need anybody fucking going and taking away and removing shit that I might potentially want to see. I'll do that myself, thank you. I don't need anybody policing for me. If I don't like something, I remove it. I walk the fuck away. I close it down. I go on to something else. It's real simple. If I see something, but here's a fact that there's nothing anybody can say to get my fucking ass hairs all fucking knotted up.
If you're down with love and wanna make things better, all we gotta do is just come together. Weather the storm, take my hand, and follow my lead to the promised land. 'Cause we the people, we gotta unite, and follow that good time guiding light. Climb aboard this love boat, and rock that bitch up and down the coast. In order to form a more perfect union.
This is something that is important here. Because I don't know who did this. Who in the fuck did this? Because I'm thinking Kid Rock might have some fucking trolls and moles in his own camp. Okay? Because you gotta watch out for them. Right? In my opinion, every bars associate pledges their allegiance to the bars. Okay? First and foremost, their allegiance is to the Bars Association. And in actuality, the Bars Association is an extension from the British Crown. And maybe you don't know that. And so here's another fact that I just found out, and this is a fact. And I would love for any one of these fucking Bars Associates to tell me that I'm fucking lying or that I'm making shit up, because they fucking avoid me like the fucking plague. Right. So here's a fact. Their allegiance is first to the Crown Corporation, not literally the Crown, but the Crown Corporation. There, you can look that up. Then there's a tiers. The next tier underneath that is the Bars Association. Underneath that is the court, right? Underneath that is the public, and then underneath that is their client, you and I, the sheeple, right? You get the last of it all, right? So they are officers. All Bars Associates are officers of the court. And the facts are that you don't shit in your own fucking nest, right? And so this is one aspect that I didn't even know, and nobody fucking knows this because they put on a big act. And here's where I'm going with all of this. So I don't know who created this and where they got this shit, but if you look at the lettering, what goes on with the Bars Associations, and with this is all fucking fuckery, right? It's all deception. So, if this is some real document, which I don't think it is, then there's some major problems with this document.
Do ordain and establish.
Look at this, establish. That's an F. There's no S there. That's an S. Or there should be an S. But these are Fs. And even in the Constitution, over here, it will be That's an F, not an S. So, in other words, if you showed up and you read this and you signed it and you said, yes, I agree, right? Then they would be like, you just agreed to fucking nothing, monkey head. You fucking ignorant. And hey, there's a Roman maxim. In Roman, civil law is Roman in nature. And why? Because Washington, D.C. is a correspondence of the Vatican, right? And so, here's, if you haven't done your homework, right, and you only went to high school just like I did, graduated high school with the history and all that kind of shit, they left out all of the really important shit, right? They skimmed over everything of all importance. So the facts are that the Roman Catholic Church came in and fucking took over in 1871, right after the whole Civil War wasn't about slavery and all that shit. It was about sovereignty, okay? And so the upper north, the blue blood, from the royal blue blood on the upper fucking northeast, from New York and fucking all the Connecticut and Delaware, Pennsylvania, all of those people, right? They were they had that shit all locked down. And fucking what happened was all the people that were getting fucking screwed out of that, they started moving down south, right? It's whenever they got down south, they started taking up some land and shit, and it's better actually down there if you wanted to grow crops and do all that kind of shit. And at this point, you're sovereign, so they're all sovereign. And then what happened is down south started fucking rising up too much, right? And then you also need to put it into fucking, it's gonna turn into a goddamn history, and I probably already lost 98% of everybody. However, what happens is they get the Industrial Revolution is starting to go in full swing, and this is over in Britain and shit like that. So they're coming over here, right, pushing these machines and shit like that. But now you got all these fucking people down south that are like, yeah, we don't need your machines because we have all of this slave labor, and it's nice and cheap. No different than all of the fucking Chinese slave labor that fucking makes all of your fucking tennis shoes and your fucking shirts and all your fucking everything that you fucking own. Just about 98% of everything you own has a fucking label that says it comes from China. And why? Because it's fucking cheap labor over there in comparison, and they all went over there in this new generation. So slavery is still alive and well. And I find it fucking ironic that that the black people of America are so like, I don't know, I've never paid $250 for a pair of Nikes. And I'm a fairly modest dude, and I've always kind of would like to, but I've never flossed myself, and I've never really spent much money. But some black dudes will pimp that shit out, looking fucking sharper than fucking a two fucking edged sword, right? And they'll spend a fortune on their gear, right? And it's weird because it was all made by slave labor. But whatever. Let's get back to this. This is not in. So in other words, what is going on here is there hasn't been anything said. F tablet, this constitution, right?
Constitution for the United States.
Oh, but then all of a sudden they could pull a fucking S out of their ass. Isn't that weird? Yeah. So. Oh, this was because it was for the United States. It's for the United States. Yeah, they're like, yeah, we're taking everything, but when we're talking about taking it, what are you idiots going to allow us? You know what I'm saying? So the whole document, I don't know where they got this, and I don't know who put this all together and shit. And that would be a good question for Kid Rock. Be like, yeah, even whoever did it, is that a mole? And so if when we are writing to Kid Rock, we start to wonder. We never heard anything back, right? And all it was you only had like 300 words that you could go, 300 characters in space. A space equals a fucking character, and so we basically said nothing more than we have a great idea that we need somebody to fucking to move this forward, especially before this fucking the next depression hits. So we need to get shit in gear and moving, and yeah, this is pretty fucking important, okay?
Of America.
And quite frankly, if Kid Rock doesn't pick through these himself, then he has somebody else. There could be a mole that just goes and cancel, right? And Kid Rock would never be the wiser. See, a bunch of sexy. I gotta say, I gotta admit, you know, I gotta say, you know, if I was China, you know, and I'm just picking any, if I was a army that was going to show up and fucking start taking over, thanks for showing us all your gorgeous women, because yeah, we're taking all of them, right? And actually, you're making me kind of hungry, right? Like, so why don't you show us some more of your gorgeous women? But then but I get it, right? Nobody wants to see all the ugly ones, you know, the fat and ugly ones. But the facts are that in the country, mostly all I see are fat and ugly ones. I mean, you know, like, I don't know where all the hot ones are, but they don't seem to be very much around anymore.
Standing up and standing tall, 'cause it's all for one, and it's one.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be nice. Can we fucking prove this, right? I'm all for that, all for one and one for all, but I've spent the last few years seeing 100% that nobody gives a fuck about anybody else but themselves. That's a fact, right? However, of course, Kid Rock wouldn't see that, right? Because everybody loves him, right? And here's one other aspect, is that he says that he is fucking uncancelable. And yeah, he is. However, I don't know if he would be if he started his career at this point, at this juncture. So if Kid Rock was showing the same attitude and was the same guy, because I know that I'm getting canceled all the fucking time, right? Right? So he started in, like, you know, in the mid 90s, mid to late 90s, and I think I heard he took like 10. It took him 10 years to actually really break through with Devil Without a Cause, right? And then when he did, that was about 99, right? So 20 years or so. And yeah, and that was back in the day when you could get, you know, like, I miss those days. Nowadays, I'm getting people dictating to me all over the fucking place. I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't even get taken down. Okay, so I want to go back through this real quick and be like, and put in what I think remake this.
We the people, and all we
We the people. We, the people, are all getting screwed. We say we have rights, but it ain't fucking true.
Fuck you! Wear your mask, take your pills. Now a whole generation's mentally ill.
Our version is wear your mask, take your pills, or the heroes in blue will fucking kill.
Man, fuck Fauci. But COVID's near, it's coming to town. We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does, the media embraces. Big Doc does it and they call him racist.
Our version is I hear freedom's near, it's coming to town. We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. When Biden pimps, the media embrace it, but we all want the dawn to come in our faces. We the sheeple. Y'all been branded, we the sheeple. And I fucking, yeah, we all been branded. That's more realistic, right? I understand what Kid Rock is going for here and everything, but can we get real? Like, now it's time for us to get real, and already, yeah, nobody likes it. Sheeple.
Fuck Facebook.
You get fucked by Facebook, yeah, Twitter too, and the mainstream media, yeah, fuck
And
you
the
too.
mainstream media. Fuck you too.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Yeah, you. Inflation's up like the minimum wage, so it's all the same. Ain't it? Damn thing changed.
Inflation's up because we're a bunch of slaves. It's all the same, and it ain't a damn thing changed. That's a fucking fact, people. Okay? So, do you people even know that in 1933, all the gold was confiscated from Americans by the United States Corporation? And therefore, every one of us is born a debtor. Every one of us is born a slave. Every one of us is surety for the debt. And nobody, well, the fucking Federal Reserve would be, United States is a foreign corporation. All of the state of, and the state of Washington, state of California, state of Texas, state of Alabama, state of Florida, every one of those is a foreign corporation. Underneath, it's all fascism, people. Right? It's complete fascism. And did you guys know that fucking that they pulled over all like 1,600 Nazi scientists, Nazis, right after the war, and the U.S. government employed them? It's Operation Paperclip. They also took over like 3,000 or so. I can't remember the exact number, but it's all on Wikipedia. All you got to do is just put Operation Paperclip, and you can read it. It's CIA fucking declassified information. And the reason they declassified it is because it's so fucking so late in the game that they got everything so wired tight that we're all fucking sheeple, right? However, again, like I was saying, there is we have a solution. It's not the end all be all, but it is something that will put us Americans back together and on the map. But all that needs but what needs to be done is I need to I'm not going to fucking even talk about it until I can get be certain that there's a few people that are very important people. And so what would really need to be done is gonna have to have people sharing this and liking it and all that other horse shit, right, to prove and getting the word out, right? But this is no joke, anyways.
You piece of shit! I don't see color! Black lives matter! No shit!
We're all worthless shit. They don't see color. Black lives matter. Since when, motherfucker? That's what my fucking version.
Motherfucker! But we gotta keep fighting for the right to be free. And every human being doesn't have to agree.
There's no human being. There's no human being. But we gotta keep fighting for the fantasy. There's no human being with the right to be free. We all bleed red, bitches. Listen to me. Shove your head up your ass for the American dream. We the Sheeple. We all been branded. Yeah, we all been branded since birth. And so Kid Rock has another great song, Born Free. Yes, you were born free, and shortly thereafter, you were birthed. There's a difference, right? People are born, ships are birthed. B-E-R-T-H. Except they call it this, in your case, they call it B-I-R-T-H. Right? But it's the same thing. You are a foreign vessel. Right? Every one of us has the all cap letter that is that operates inside of their corporation, and without that, you can't do anything. That's because we're all fucking slaves. Okay? So if you look at every fucking thing that you have that is with the government, it will have your name in all uppercase. There's no such thing as capital letters. Capital is about finances. It's about business. Capitalism. Okay? Letters have upper and lower case. So why are we calling them capital letters? Because you have a straw man. Okay? And that would be your name in capital letters. The reason they call it capital letters, which is uppercase letters, but they call it a capital letters because it's your name that's been capitalized, financially capitalized upon. Okay? And and they got bonds on your ass. And it goes deep. And I'm not going to spend too much time trying to explain it here because as soon as you start, it's like a big fucking onion. You pull back one layer, and then you gotta pull back another layer, and you pull back another layer. All right, I'm done.